So, you've heard the old saying that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and I've been seeing a lot of imitation and copying going on lately by the Conservative candidate for Mayor of London, that's Shaun Bailey, and his recent announcements and the media that he's created. And so I am massively flattered. It's good to know that we can help you in some way on your very feeble campaigning effort. But honestly, Shaun, when I look deeply at what you've actually proposed to change London, it has no depth. You've asked for 8,000 more officers on the street, and yet you have no clue how you would ever pay for something. You've suggested building 100,000 new homes by asking homeless people for a £5,000 deposit. You've also asked for TfL not to go bankrupt, but yet again, you've proposed no fiscal responsible manner to make that happen. Now, I'm very different than you, Shaun, and I realize that you've probably realized that as well. And I've spent 30 years working for some of the biggest global companies in the world. And I've worked in aerospace, I've worked in automotive, I've worked on Wall Street, a very competitive place to be. I've worked in the city of London, the same, and I've worked in new media and digital education, and I have costed all of my policies. So when I talk about 10,000 police officers on the street, I know what it costs down to the pound, 300 million pounds, and I have the infrastructure levy in place to pay for that over the course of the next 10 years. I also have a plan to run our TfL at a profit by actually separating 5,700 acres of land owned by the TfL. That's the size of Camden, by the way, Shaun. And I'm gonna develop that in a separate corporate entity that's gonna allow that to thrive as well. And so, again, why would I expect someone like Mr. Bailey with absolutely zero business experience? You've never run a company in your life. That's the one thing you have in common with the current mayor of London, zero business experience. And I must say, I feel kind of bad even making this video because your campaign is really bumping along. I think 50% of Londoners have never heard of you and have no idea what you stand for. And recently, your own campaign manager says that you're probably going to lose. And so at this point, I just have to say, you spent 5 years in the London Assembly and you have no cut through as a politician. Why would we expect anyone to want to trust a city of 9 million citizens up to you and your very thin policies? And that's the thing. You don't need me to tell you that there's just no depth to this man. And that's why you'll come to this final conclusion, which is on May 6th, there is only one person who can beat Sadiq Khan. He knows it, I know it, and the voters of London know it as well. I stand for a plan to rebuild London. I have a plan to build 50,000 new homes by Christmas of this year. I know where those homes are going to be, and I've costed them down to the last pound, something Mr. Bailey would probably not even know how to do. I also know how to put those 10,000 officers on the street. I know how to reduce knife crime, and I know how to raise 100 million pounds from private corporations to fund 250 community centers here in London to give our teenagers real options to build themselves and build businesses. Again, this is the difference when you have someone with business experience with a real and credible plan versus someone who's out there talking about policies who their own party, the own Conservative Party, are embarrassed that you are their candidate, and from all reports that I've heard, have pulled all of the support from you. So again, on May 6th, this is a two-person race. You can have 3 more years of this nonsense under the current Mayor Sadiq Khan, or we can take London in a new direction. We can rebuild this economy. We can put 10,000 officers on the street. We can build 50,000 new homes, and we can run TfL at a profit. I know how to do this. I've seen it. I can explain it to you down to the detail. And I know that Londoners can feel this. I know they can see this. And on May 6th, I plan on becoming the next mayor of London. So thank you for the flattery. And let's move forward and take London in a new direction.